welcome to the final press conference today for Coming to America. I'm so excited to moderate this conversation. So without further ado, the cast of Coming to America. Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Hi. Well, Mr. Eddie Murphy, I'm going to start with you because it all starts here. I spoke to you yesterday and you talked about this was 5 years and really 30, but 5 years of honest work to bring this to the screen. So talk about when you first thought, okay, we can get the wheels going, and then that journey to finally this moment.
Well, it was maybe about 3 drafts of the script in. We kind of got it to where the structure and the narrative thread was strong enough to, I was like, okay, we have a movie here. Now we just have to bring a younger writer in and put that modern spin on it. Into Kenya Barris.
Yes. And I can see a lot of those Kenya Barris jokes. I was giggling. I mean, he does that so perfectly on his shows between the comedy and the drama and saying something significant, I think, about the moment that we're in. But Arsenio, I have to ask you and maybe Eddie, just real quickly, I was looking at it. There's a lot more people brought back than I think people realize. You guys tried. Was that the original, bass player and piano player for Sexual Chocolate coming back? Oh, no, it was somebody new? Okay. They were totally new? Okay, but you guys tried to bring back as many people as possible. And then, if you guys can, Arsenio and Eddie, just talk to that process of we got to bring them back. We got to bring them back. I'll start with you, Arsenio.
You should start with Eddie because he produced this.
Sorry. I should say, let me start with Eddie. Yeah, sorry.
We wanted to bring everybody back that from the original. Actually, we wanted to, where the story left off, it was like, okay, we have to bring back from where the story left off. Like the Eric LaSalle character and the Lisa McDowell's sister, they kind of, the last time you saw them, he was soaking wet. She said, we got to get you out of these clothes, and kind of implied that they were, going to be together. And me and Lisa went off happily ever after. So it was like, okay, how do you connect the dots with it was like, it would be kind of funny if McDowell opened the McDowell's in Africa, and it was like, so he could be there. And it was like, who would make the most sense, and how can we connect the dots the best? That's how we picked who would be in the movie.
Yeah, and then Mr. Arsenio Hall, what I wanted to ask you about is, I'm sure on set you're like, they're back, and this person's back, that person's back, because that's what I was watching, just seeing it on screen. So I can only imagine, maybe a bit like deja vu.
Hey, there was a night when Eddie did a scene with John Amos at the McDowell's, and it was the first time I walked into a room and saw John Amos and Louis Anderson. And it was a real special kind of feeling, especially for John. I mean, I love John. What John has done for Black people in Hollywood when I was growing up, the dignity that he displayed as a man, I love him forever. And seeing him really, it warmed my heart, as Leslie might say.
Yeah. I mean, Leslie, I want to bring it to you next because you had an even more daunting task, which is you've got to put yourself in iconic moments from the original, quite literally, in those flashback scenes. And so I just want to know what that was like for you to, first of all, go back to that time period with the gold and all of that, but also know that this is inserting you into the canon of the original in a way that is not really seen with a lot of the other characters.
Well, first of all, I don't know what comedian didn't write themselves into the original Coming to America. So I was already in the movie. So I don't know what you're talking about. I had already, I did a whole different character though, but I was like Samuel Jackson's sister, you know what I'm saying? And we decided to get a job at McDowell's, you know what I mean? But they decided to write it this way. That's cool. It's cool. It worked out. It worked out that way.
Hey.
But I'm gonna tell you the first day of shooting to me was the one that put the bumps, the goosebumps on me when Eddie walked in dressed as a king. It was almost like the movie had just continued. Like he walked in, like he just walked off another scene from the original movie. So it was just like everybody, I don't think he knew everybody was like, oh my God. And that's when it really started becoming really real. And then
that's how it always be when I walk in the room.
would be nice.
Absolutely.
I don't be trying to dissect that when that goes on. I just walk in the room.
Yeah.
Everybody's like,
I mean, I just have to ask this one real quick though, Leslie. Like, you and Eddie have some fun, let's just say choreography.
I mean, like I said, I had already did it to Eddie a whole bunch of times. Like 48 Hours, Beverly Hills Cops, all of them. I had all of them seen. So this was a new
just
one.
reliving life, right? I love that.
Exactly. Deja vu. I just couldn't believe that he wrote it like that. I was like, oh, okay, so we're gonna have some real fun here. This is insane. And they let me do stupid stuff. I'm so glad they didn't put half the stupid stuff I did that day.
What's so funny in this movie, Leslie?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, baby.
So
I want a blooper reel, like 45 minutes on the DVD, please.
God, that candle,
the credit
all I
sequence
say
was
is
not
that.
enough.
Unless we can get it cracking.
Ms. Bella Murphy, I want to bring it to you because you have, I think, an even more interesting relationship with the movie. Like, I remember talking to you and you said, okay, I got to see it at this age. Was it a negotiation on when you got to see it first? Because in my house, Eddie Murphy movies were the only ones that always got a pass, no matter what, on the radio.
No matter what, yeah.
But I'm just curious about you watching it.
Insanely crazy about Eddie Murphy.
Rated R till they got a certain age.
Yeah.
My dad was like, Eddie Murphy about to cheat. They about to tell everybody how to do comedy. That's what Eddie about to do. My dad loved you. And Eddie, do you see how beautiful Bella is?
Thanks.
Oh my God.
Every day.
Thanks.
I had to tell her, like, because she looks just like her mom. She's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh.
But tell us about the movie and your first watching of it, and then, of course, the journey to be in the second one.
Yeah, I saw this one kind of young. I was either 10 or 11. I don't think there was like negotiation. I kind of just watched it, but it was really cool. It was cool to see my dad like that because that was the first time I saw images of Black royalty on stage, or on screen. So it was cool, and even cooler that it was my dad. So I felt really empowered, and yeah, it was awesome.
And Akiley, you've been blessed, although, young, very, incredible on screen, but you've been able to have Wakanda and Zamunda. We just had Zamunda for like the longest time. And so I just am curious for you to have these characters that you're able to sort of like see from a young age, but more importantly, be a part of, like, there's young girls that are going to be like, that's me. So I'm just curious what you think about that, Akiley.
Yeah, it was just really fun to play a character, that is from Africa, and she's able to walk around and wear all of these really cool, amazing outfits, and to see all this gold, and to play a princess, that was really fun. And I just hope that everybody who sees it that looks like me would just realize that they're like that too. The movie isn't a fictional movie, although yes, it is. It's actually showing what Black people are, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so proud that I was able to be a part of it.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry, y'all, but that's the best quote of the day.
How are you? You look like you got older.
I know. It's like, that's the future. Thank God.
Well, it's funny you mentioned the older because Arsenio and Mr. Ed, y'all had to do the makeup again, making it even older. Yeah, but we're just going to talk about the makeup aspect of it because I know Mr. Arsenio Hall, it was better, but also still difficult sitting in those chairs, right?
Yeah, it's less abrasive to your skin these days. The chemicals are better, but it's still 4 to 6 hours. And you still, like my girl came to spend a week with me, and every morning she would have little chocolate boogers, little glue boogers all over her, because even when they take it off, you have that stuff for 2 days. You be finding boogers, little glue boogers.
Ew!
Don't blame that on the makeup, man. You know you always be leaving glue boogers everywhere. Yeah.
I'm trying to blame that, yeah.
Everywhere you go.
No boogers.
That was what people used to complain about when they did your show. You say, every time I do the show, it's all over me.
Sorry. Love it. But I also want to ask you about this aspect, because the reason I had to do the makeup is you had to bring back the characters. I'm not going to say which one, but we were like halfway through the movie and I hadn't seen one of your characters, Mr. Arsenio Hall, and I was upset. But we saw him by the end. And I'm just curious, which one were you most excited to revisit of the characters behind the makeup? Because I have my choice, but.
I love when the preacher and Randy Watson are together in any situation. Mr. Murphy was going to do the witch doctor. You should let him tell you that story, because there's a history there.
Yeah, tell me about the witch doctor.
In the originals, one of the idea originally I was going to play the witch doctor, and I was going to play Wesley's character, the General Izzy. But then I started thinking about all these, how long it would be to do these makeups, and I was like, witch doctor is going to take 6 hours to do, and Arsenio was like, "Well, I'll do it." And I was like, he said, "Yeah, I'll do that shit. That's all right. Okay, you're going to do it." He said, "Yeah, I'll do it." I said, "Okay." So we got down the movie, and we're doing the movie. And then one night after everybody was leaving, he had that makeup on for 6 hours. He had 6 hours to put it on. It's 4:30 in the morning, and everybody's leaving. He has 2 hours of breakdown. They got to take it off for 2 hours. And he's sitting in the makeup chair. He had a tissue. And he said, I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "My eye is tearing." But he was crying. He was crying, and he did the contact lenses. The water was running out. He was crying. He was crying. He was crying at Tyler Perry Studios at 4:30 in the morning.
Exactly. By the way, there was a stop between me and Eddie doing the witch doctor. Eddie, tell him who wanted to do it at first.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, when you told he was at something. I think you were at one of Dave's shows, right? And Chappelle played Cleveland, and Arsenio and Chris Rock was on the show, and he told Dave, "Yeah, we're gonna do a Coming to America." And Dave was like, "What? If you guys do Coming to America, I want to be in it."
Really? Okay.
So Dave said he's gonna be in it. Dave would not have said. And then it didn't work out because scheduling and all that stuff. But he was going to play we thought he was for a sec.
Oh my God.
Well, that just means we got to do a third one, not wait 30 years. We got to do a third one like soon. And then y'all can bring in, because let's be honest, y'all just about got y'all got all the Black comedians. Literally, I think Tracy said it was a Mount Rushmore of comedic talent. And I think that, I want to see Dave in a Coming to America movie. He's going to be mad when he sees it.
The problem with him being the witch doctor is you wouldn't have known it was Dave. And it's kind of getting Dave, but not getting Dave. So
yeah.
Great. But Eddie has a third one in his mind. He has a.
Oh, you got the third one in your mind?
You did a wonderful job as the witch doctor, Arsenio.
Yeah.
Now I can't see it any other way than what.
That was a good cut. You killed that. I was like, it just looked so crazy.
Well,
you cried over it.
Best tier since New Jack City. I'm just best single tier. I definitely want to ask Mr. Eddie Murphy about the legacy of the movie. I was talking to folks from the cast, and they talked about the McDowell's pop up and the Beyonce costumes and the Alicia Keys parties and the Denai Guerrero. And I just wonder where you feel the legacy lives, and what do you really want folks to take, not just with this first chapter, but with this second one?
Coming to America, the legacy of both movies. Well, let's start off this way. The original Coming to America, the very first one, is the first movie in the history of movies that had an all-Black cast that was successful all around the world. All around the world. The very first one ever. And there's just a handful of movies that have had all-Black casts that have been successful all around the world. It's actually, you could count them on one hand, and you'll have fingers left over. And the two of those movies are Coming to America and Coming to America. It's like the legacy of this movie is that it's accessible to all audiences. And it's the reason why our movies don't go around the world is because our story is provocative to us. Around the world, they don't give a shit about our stuff. And most of our movies are you know, to shine light on some social injustice or some civil unrest or some shit that we went through. And around the world, they don't give a shit about that. They just want a basic story, just basic. Coming to America is not about any of those things. It's just it's about family and love and doing the right thing and tradition. That's what the movie is about. And it's these amazing images of Black kings and queens and princesses and all this stuff is going. It's like, it's the only movie that's Black Panther did it. The second movie that had black kings and black. The very first one is Coming to America, and the third one is Coming to America. It's like it's the only time we're seeing like this around. We're just some people in the movie, just telling this story about, you know, human being stuff that, you know, that everybody can relate to. The themes are timeless. You know, love and all this, marrying somebody for who you want to, you know, who you really love. It's a lot of stuff that's in it. Fiddler on the Roof has a lot of stuff that's similar images and similar stuff is similar themes is Coming to America.
I guess it's the testament. If you tell a universal story, it can be universally adored, and I think this
absolutely. Now, that's a testament. But how come it's only, you know, 2 or 3 times that it's even happened?
Yeah. I want to add this in there. I was blessed through basically trickery. I was able to get into the SNL recording that you did last year, and Lizzo was performing, and like the Soul Glow Juice connection. Did you chat with Lizzo when you were doing that? Because she does juice with Soul Glow in her video. It's like a complete homage.
No, I didn't even know.
So Lizzo emulated the Soul Glow for her video Juice. And yeah, Soul Glow has a whole like internet culture outside of McDowell's, outside of Coming to America. People really want to, you know.
Coming to America, that what you just said about Soul Glow, that's indicative of the fact that Coming to America became a cult film. So that's just one aspect of one of the things that, you know, that started out in Coming to America that's in the culture now. You have that, what's that guy? Questlove has a band called the Randy Watson Experience.
Yeah.
People say shit like sexual chocolate, that became a catchphrase. The mic drop, the mic drop, the very first mic drop is Randy Watson. You know? On Halloween, people get dressed up as characters from the movie, and VH1 played Coming to America 24 hours straight over Christmas. It's like it's a cult film, and all that stuff is part of it.
Yeah, it's incredible. And this new one is going to have its own children as well, as far as like people embracing certain things. I know there are going to be people doing TikTok versions of Tiana's dance. There's going to be people quoting literally everything you say, I think, Miss Leslie Jones, because you have, I think, so many one-liners in this one. And I'm just curious, is this just you running a line of just whatever comes out of your comedy, whatever comes out of your mind? Or is that like...
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the character is me. I mean, seriously, just like so ghetto, so like the free in life, and just, you ain't got to take care of me. I'm taking care of me. Like, I ain't need no prince to raise my son. Oh, you here now? You see, I ain't called you. And just like when he's like, Wakanda is a well, it's fictional to you. You are real. Let me have my moment.
Classic.
Let me have my moment. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like it was just so easy to play because it was just one of those characters that you do embrace. I love these type of characters that are in the movie that is going to join everybody together. Just carefree. Yeah, girl. I'm sorry for sleeping with your man. I'm so sorry.
The dynamic with Lisa is so great. They could have, that was so well written. The way they wrote that, I thought that was really great.
Yeah. Leslie from the third draft, if we had 5-6 drafts from the third draft, we're writing for Leslie. We're like, Leslie Jones has to play this.
Exactly. And Leslie, she's hilarious every moment. There were a lot of stand-ups on that movie, and we're on the Tyler Perry lot, which was magical that this brother created this. There were days, he has a build-up of the White House for shooting things at the White House. There were days I'm standing with Tracy Morgan and Leslie in front of the White House on the Tyler Perry lot, laughing my ass off. It was the greatest experience. They didn't have to pay me for this one because I had a great time. She is so funny.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's crazy. Do you know, understand, like, okay, I'm gonna tell you, when I started comedy, the first time I performed was at Colorado College in Fort Collins, and I won. I dressed like Eddie. I had a leather jacket. I had on all leather. I don't know how I got all leather, but I know the girl from the AKA, she gave me the boots. A girl from the Deltas gave me the jacket, and the dudes from the Kappas took me to the mall and bought me the leather suit. So I had on all leather. I had a Jerry curl.
What color? What color?
Black, all black. Okay. And I had a Jerry curl where my hair was shaved all the way to the side. You remember the ducktails? And I had a ducktail that was blonde that went all the way down my and I called myself, you know, I thought I won the contest, and they interviewed me for the college paper, and they was like, so what's next? I was like, I'm the next Eddie Murphy. So
hey, making it to SNL, you joined that elite crew of Black actors that have been able to.
But I didn't know that you can't just say that, because like I lost my scholarship. I was on scholarship. I was on the basketball. I lost my scholarship because I wasn't going to class. I had decided I'm going to be a comedian. So I had to call my dad and tell him that I lost my scholarship. And I said, yeah, you know, he was like, oh, well, we can get it back. I was like, nah, Dad, I know what I want to do. And he was like, what do you want to do? I was like, I want to be a comedian. He was like, what the fuck? He was like, who the fuck told you was funny? You ain't never been funny. I know your whole fucking life. You ain't never been funny. I'm sorry, baby. You ain't never been funny. You never been funny. He said, Diane, get on the phone and tell this girl she not funny. You're not funny. So I said, well, I'm going to be the next Eddie Murphy. He was like, Eddie Murphy? Eddie Murphy ain't Eddie Murphy.
Well, that's just proof you don't listen to that, even if it comes from inside your family. And this movie talks about that too, because the women of Zamunda are kind of given that line. And Bella, your character, and also what Kiki does, and also what Kylie does, y'all show that you can roll with any of the Zamunda men. And the best one, I think, is when you guys beat up on Wesley. So Bella, what was it like to beat up Blade? Because that was dope.
I remember when we were doing that scene, I actually got to act out that whole stunt, and I was nervous because I was flailing my stick around. I didn't want to hit Wesley Snipes in the head because that's not a good impression. So I was really nervous, and it actually turned out really well, but it was really cool to play a character like that because I just felt so empowered, and it was cool. You know, I feel like the story shows how like women can do just as much as men, and if not, they can do it even better. So it was really cool.
And then Kylie, they didn't leave you out. Like, you were in there. I was like, this is not CGI. She's got that stick. So we'll talk about getting prepped for that.
Yeah, that was tons of fun, not only training for it, because, you know, I just personally pick up on things very quickly and I learn very easily. But it was really fun doing that on set. I was kind of nervous because they wanted me to beat up this really tall, huge guy. I was like, okay. And so they wanted me to take the book staff and just, you know, hit him where the sun doesn't shine. You know what I'm talking about. And I was like, okay. So I was doing that, and then I was actually having lots of fun because I got to swing glasses at him and crack a vase over his head. It was so much fun. And my favorite part is that whenever you know that I'm coming in, you hear this huge battle cry. That was one of my favorite parts.
I do love the battle cry. And actually, what's really funny, when I spoke to Wesley in the previous one, he said they were gleeful in their choreography. They really enjoyed doing it. So he felt that you guys were having fun that day. Mr. Arsenio Hall, I want to bring it back to, I think, what a lot of people think about when they think about this movie is not just, you know, the idea that you guys sort of like captured lightning in a bottle, but more importantly, that it showed, I guess you would say, different aspects of African-American culture, and it didn't pull any punches. But I'm just curious for you, what from the first film did you love that they were able to sort of, I guess, turn the page on in the second? What new things are you excited about that folks are going to get to see?
Well, you know, I think the message of female empowerment, you know, there's no timing like the timing of God. And that message is so important and perfect for right this moment. So I'm proud of the film in many ways like that. And I was there at 2 o'clock in the morning watching Bella and Miss Love beat people up. What it does, what it says about women is incredible in this movie.
Yeah. And I would be remiss if we didn't mention one of the ladies that we didn't get to talk to today, and another person we didn't get to see today, Mr. James Earl Jones and Miss Shari Headley. And Eddie, I just want to talk about working with them again, because both of them are so pivotal to the first one and in this one as well too, because Lisa comes back and she's still Lisa, let's be honest. And James Earl Jones is James Earl Jones.
Yeah, well, James Earl Jones, we had to shoot his stuff separately because James can't travel. So he shot his stuff in New York. So I didn't get to shoot with him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you could never tell though.
No, you couldn't.
No, I was just going to say, what?
Yeah. But and Shari, it was a trip, because we're in this movie that's on television all the time. You see it all the time. It's like you see her all the time, but I hadn't seen her in 30 years, and you're like back on the set, and it was kind of surreal. It was surreal.
And I really, again, just want to highlight, there's a great dynamic. It's in the trailer, Leslie is, the mother is Akeem's baby mama, but the way they treated the way they treated your character and the Lisa character, it was just so incredible. I thought that was a testament to the people that were writing this, saying something I think that was very of the time. And again, I think people are going to be really excited when they get to see it on March 5th. I want to thank you all again for this conversation. It was a personal treasure for me, and I hope everyone gets a chance to see it soon. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.